If this set is only 395 Philippine pesos or 8 US dollars, that makes each half pan cost only 8 Philippine pesos or 16 cents in US dollars. And with that very cheap price, what should we expect? Hi guys, this is again Allan and welcome back to my channel. Today here in the Philippines, we are now on our 15th week of the quarantine and I'm hoping that you guys are all safe and sound at home. Today again, we are gonna be reviewing another watercolor brand and I believe this is the most affordable watercolor set out there online. This is no other than China's SEAMIART Watercolors. It's actually raining outside. I hope you can hear me well. I got my set at SEAMIART.ph account at Shopee Philippines for 395 Philippine pesos or roughly 8 US dollars. I ordered this last June 1, 2020 and it arrived after 10 days. So I believe that's pretty quick considering we are still under quarantine. And aside from Shopee, it's also available at eBay and Aliexpress, I believe. So if you are interested to trying it out, I'll be putting the useful links at the description box. Aside from the 50 color set, they also have a bigger set of 90 colors and a gift set that has additional brushes. So now I think we're ready to unbox our items. The reason why the box is this big is because I also bought other items that you will see in a few. So here now is our SEAMIART watercolor set. And aside from that, I also got the Superior accordion watercolor set, which we are gonna be reviewing separately, but I'm giving you a preview now. And also I got their Potentate pad. This is a zigzag or accordion watercolor pad, which I will be also reviewing separately. Now let's go back to our palette. It looks very clean, it looks very neat, and it comes with these hinges that remind me of the hinges that we usually see in our doors, our windows, and furniture. And also this classic lock set, but I'm not complaining, it's actually cute. So now let's open our box. Wow, it looks so neat, and the watercolors remind me of the solid watercolors of Faber-Castell, but the Faber-Castell has longer watercolor shapes. And it also comes with this color card, and it's thick. I think this is 300 GSM, and I'm happy that they provided color names here. So how does this match our set? Okay, here. So oh no, yeah, so this is white and this is black, but this looks weird because they wrote here permanent yellow and this is not permanent yellow. The sequence is, I think, correct except for this because this is obviously not yellow. I think this should be permanent red. So this looks yellow ochre, yellow gray, burnt umber, raw umber, red ochre, brown. So after gray we have pink. So after here we have cobalt blue. This looks cobalt blue. Okay, so I think the only issue here is the permanent yellow, and we'll figure that out later. Aside from the color card, it also comes with a flat brush. So SEAMIART artist brush. So let's check it out. It's a nylon brush, and I'm glad they included a flat brush and a water brush, which I don't use, but let's see. Oh, it's really soft. Is this wet? No, it's not. Oh yeah, it's wet. Oh, it has oil. Yeah, it's oil. Better wash this first before using to make sure your paints are free of any other liquid aside from water. It also comes with a sponge for cleaning your brushes, and the tray is also plastic. Oh, a flimsy plastic. So now let's see the tray of our palette. So this is also plastic, flimsy plastic. So let's check out one color and compare it with a half pan to see if this is also equivalent to a half pan. So it's glued very securely. So this is a single pan color from the SEAMIART, and let's compare it with the half pan color from Sennelier. This is unused Sennelier half pan. So as you can see, there's a difference, maybe I think less than 10% difference when it comes to volume. Yeah, around 10% or less. So don't worry, because we can easily just bring it back as if nothing happened. See. By the way, just a tip, whenever you're getting a tin set like this, especially with parts that are not painted or not treated like these, the hinges, always keep in mind to keep your sets dry or away from moisture or humidity, because it can easily get rust like this. See that? So just take note of it. If this set is only 395 Philippine pesos or $8 US, that makes each half pan cost only 8 Philippine pesos or 16 cents in US dollars. And with that very cheap price, what should we expect? And to give light to our questions and expectations, there's no other way, of course, than to making our swatches and sample painting. And for that, we are using, as always, Arches 185 cold pressed cotton paper. And for my brush, I'm using my silver black velvet 1/4 inch flat brush and my Escoda Reserva number 8. And since they did not provide any light fastness code or pigment code information, we just put here the color names they provided in their color chart. This is a 50 color set, so I think it would be practical to speed it up, but I will be bringing it back to normal speed if I need to explain a particular color, if it's noteworthy, if it's special, or if it's underwhelming, or if there's something about the color name again. And also, as always, I'm not re-wetting our half pans to be fair with the other brands that we have reviewed before. I think we're ready to start. This is lemon yellow, and I find it easy to re-wet to activate, and I think it's vibrant. So far, the colors are vibrant, they're easy to re-wet, but most of them are on the opaque side. So let's see if they get more transparent when they dry. So now we are about to color the controversial color. And in their chart, they call this permanent yellow, but obviously it's not yellow, so I assume this is permanent red. But this doesn't look like permanent red, it looks like a red with a white. Yeah, it looks a bit pastel, only this color. It feels like this Crimson Lake has granulation, and I love this shade, but let's see if the granulation really appears when it dries. And now suddenly from red it jumps to this light green turquoise-like color. So this is a pastel turquoise color, but they're calling it as light green. By the way, so far the reds and the yellows remind me of how superior watercolors appear on paper, but the texture of the SEAMIART is thicker. So this is the color that they called shop green in their swatch sheet. So I just assumed that they mean sap green. Even the phthalo green, they also put white. The texture of their olive green is a little bit weird. As you can see, it has really heavy pigments, just like here, which actually didn't move that much as compared to the other colors. So you need help with that. Now we have Cobalt Blue. You see that? When I added water, it became white. Yeah. It's even whiter when you see it in actual or in person. So you see it doesn't actually look like Cobalt Blue. It looks like a Verditer Blue. And Verditer Blue is a combination usually of ultramarine and white. See that? It's beautiful, but it's not Cobalt Blue. Even this Prussian blue doesn't actually look Prussian blue, it looks like phthalo blue. The indigo is beautiful, but I can also see that they added white here. But yeah, it's beautiful. Now we are about to color ultramarine, and for those who know me, I'm very, particular about this color, so I hope it meets my expectation. Okay. So this looks like ultramarine. Yeah. Ultramarine light, not French, not deep. Ultramarine light. Or the typical ultramarine. So it's now 1 point ahead over Giorgione. I'm sorry I had to compare them because I'm not yet over about that particular color in Giorgione. So I'm happy they have ultramarine here. This color is also weird. They call it brilliant green purple. I cannot see any green shade in this purple. And it looks like lilac. Next we have purple that actually looks like the same as the pink lilac. You see that? Yeah, they look similar. But here, yeah, this pink lilac looks more on the blue side. On the blue side, or more purple. This one looks more pink. And you can also see that there is color separation. You can see the pink or the red pigment separating. This is very much the same with these two, but yeah, this is the pure one. I just added white to this one to look like these two. Now this skin color is, I think, really controversial because not all skin colors look like this. My skin does not look like that. Now we have cinnamon, but this doesn't look like cinnamon at all. Now they're calling this color as raw ochre, but for me this is the usual yellow ochre that we know. So this is their yellow ochre. It looks greenish, like a green gold, as if it used PY 129. But it's a beautiful earthy yellow. Next they have yellow gray. I think I'm gonna love this color. Yeah, it's beautiful. I love earthy colors, earthy greens, earthy yellows. But this burnt umber looks burnt sienna, right? Next they have raw umber, and this one looks burnt umber. Now they have red ochre, which is interesting. Wow, this is a beautiful muted red, but this is not the red ochre that I know. And now the Payne's Gray looks like a pastel version of neutral tint. As you can see, it has a reddish undertone. It's also beautiful. And lastly, we have black. We have just finished our swatch sheet, and before I comment on the color selection and the behavior of the colors, let's first do our sample painting, and I will be also speeding this up, so if you have any questions, just comment it below. So let's begin. So as you can see, if you put a lot of water, it can actually move well. But not all the colors move well, so you need to study first your colors before you perform a certain technique, because each color behaves differently. So now our sample painting is dry. We can now peel off our tape. Let's have a closer look on our swatches and sample painting. I think none of the colors granulate. Now our sample painting and swatches are already dry. We can now give our comments on our SEAMIART solid watercolors. So let's first start with the color selection. So as you can see, they have 4 yellows, 3 oranges, 5 reds, 5 pinks, 3 violets, 10 greens, 7 blues, 7 earth colors, 2 flesh tones, and 4 neutrals. Overall, I am okay with the color selection, but I need to note that for 50 colors, they have 10 greens. Yeah, that's quite a lot, but if you see, the range of greens is actually very understandable because it has green shades, it has yellow shades, it has earth shades, so it's okay. Also, there are lots of pinks and purples for this range, but I think they did that on purpose because they have a specific market for that, I think. Anyway, this is 50 colors, so I can actually accept that. They have a range of earth colors too, but I am actually still looking for a reddish earth color. An English red maybe should be added here. Other than that, I am okay with the selection, but there are still some colors that are really questionable when it comes to the naming. First to mention is the permanent yellow a while ago, which is, I think, supposedly permanent red. And also it's confusing, the brilliant green purple, because I don't see any green shade here. And also I think this is not Prussian blue, I think this is only phthalo blue. And yeah, I'm happy that it's now real ultramarine. Cobalt blue is also weird here, it's like grayish blue. Also, the purple colors have confusing names, like this purple. It says pale purple. Obviously, it's not pale. It's very vibrant. This dark purple. I think this should be dark purple. Rather than skin color, I think this should just be called flesh or John Brilliant. Like this also. This is not cinnamon. And also the burnt umber. This looks like burnt sienna. This looks like burnt umber. Yeah. This is brown, yeah, okay. This doesn't look like Van Dyke brown. This also looks like burnt umber. The Payne's gray is too pastel and too reddish to be Payne's gray. It looks like a neutral tint. When it comes to the appearance of the color, yes, some of them, or actually most of them, are opaque or semi-opaque because obviously they added white pigment in most of their colors. And I have no issue on that. But I personally prefer less pastel colors because if there's white, I can achieve those pastel colors. The colors are vibrant, but they feel less pigmented as compared, of course, to the more expensive paints or the artist grade paints. Each color is different. For example, I need to note the 2 olive greens have different texture or movement. They stopped at certain point, as well as dark green, turquoise, brilliant purple, and also some of the browns. But some colors dispersed or moved really well, just like the reds, the yellows, the purples here, these 4, and some of the blues. The ultramarine moved well. I don't know, it may be just my hand, but I really tried to achieve the same movement, but really some of the colors just stop at a certain point. I put lots of water, some of them just didn't move as well as the others. So when it comes to our sample painting, Overall, I am happy and I'm satisfied with how I was able to use the SEAMIART solid watercolors in application. I think the Cobalt Blue and the Ultramarine moved really well when I used them in my sky part. And of course, I helped them a bit and I put enough water. I'm sure a lot of you are gonna ask if the SEAMIART solid watercolors are chalky. So to test if they're chalky, let's rub our fingers and see if the paints transfer to our finger, or if the white part of the paper gets messy, then that's chalky. So it's not. So now I'm happy. And as you can see, it also did not make the white part of our sheet messy, so they're not chalky. Now, is it muddy? There is a tendency that they can get muddy if you mix multiple opaque colors. But here I tried mixing 4 for our shadow, but I believe this is not muddy because I can still see translucence in it, so I don't think it's muddy. Now let's proceed to our favorite part, which is the comparison portion, and let's begin with the set of paints that are, I think, less performing as compared to the SEAMIART solid watercolors. So let's begin with the Cymbeline watercolors, which is obviously too pale. The Best Buy, which is super opaque and super chalky. Same with Dong A Creative. And also with these two that are very inconsistent when it comes to movement. As you can see, they stop at a certain point and that really annoys me. Next is this set of paints that I just reviewed last week, the Giorgione watercolor cakes, which are, yes, they're vibrant but they're mostly opaque. The next set of paints are the sets that are, I think, on the same level as SEAMIART solid watercolors. They don't necessarily mean they have the same weaknesses and strengths, but yeah, my satisfaction on these sets are, I think, on the same level. So let's begin with the Pebeo Studio, Faber-Castell tubes, Pentel watercolors, Reeves watercolors, Maris watercolors in tubes, Maris in pans, Prang watercolor 2019, Prang watercolor 2007, and Koretake Gansai Tambi. I think this is the most comparable when it comes to texture. These next two brands are the brands that are also from China. They perform, I think, better as compared to SEAMIART, but they are a bit more expensive, but still on the affordable side. So let's begin with the Superior brand. This is the Fan Palette, and we also have the Superior in half pans. As you can see, they are very comparable when it comes to vibrancy, but Superior is more transparent overall and the movement is better also. The edge of SEAMIART is really the price. For $3.95 each color, or each half pan costs around only 8 Philippine pesos, as compared to the Superior where the range of per half pan price is around 20 Philippine pesos. So that's twice the price. So is it also twice twice more preferable? What do you think? And also the Pretty Excellent, which is, I think, more expensive, of course, but I think this is more dependable when it comes to performance. Overall transparency and the movement, I can't say anything about the Pretty Excellent. Now our next set of paints are the student grade paints that give me more confidence because they provided pigment codes and light fastness rating, and they also perform really well. I think they are more reliable. So let's begin with Winsor & Newton China version. We also have the Maris Masters watercolors. They are actually proclaiming themselves as artist grade. And also we have Winsor & Newton Cotman. Then we have Sonnet watercolors. And my favorite student grade paints, the Van Gogh watercolors. And of course, for our last set, we have our artist grade paints. So I think there's no need to explain why they are better. Of course, they provided pigment code and light fastness rating, and also they are obviously performing better as compared to the SEAMIART solid watercolors. So let's begin with Kokuyo Kamlin watercolors. Though they did not provide pigment code, they have light fastness rating, and as you can see, the colors are really good and deep. Next, we have Prima Marketing, Paul Rubens watercolors, also from China, Lucas Aquarel 1862. We also have, of course, Mission Gold class, Winsor Newton Professional, Holbein Botanical Art watercolors from Japan, and my favorite, Egalio Honey watercolors, handmade watercolors from Italy, White Nights watercolors in tubes, White Nights in half pans, and of course Daniel Smith. This is the Daniel Smith sticks, and this is the Daniel Smith Ultimate Mixing Set in half pans. So now, if you're gonna ask me would I recommend the SEAMIART solid watercolors, my answer is a definite yes. Of course, $3.95 for 50 colors, 8 Philippine pesos or 16 cents per half pan. What can you ask for? You know, if you are not gonna be using this for commission paintings or for paintings that are going to be displayed, then this is a very good find. The colors are generally vibrant. The colors are, they're really not bad, although some colors are opaque, some are pastel, but they're not bad because they are intense. They mix well, not all, but generally they mix well in my experience in my sample painting. So I think this is really good for the price. Actually, this is to date the cheapest half pan color that I have seen online, and it's really not a bad set because it also comes with a decent metal container with brushes. You know, you have a flat brush here, you have a water brush, so you have mixing wells here, you have a sponge, so what more can you ask for? I think this is really good. I wish they also have a smaller set for those who would like to save a bit more, but guys, this is 50 colors for, you know, again, I will repeat, $395 or $8. That's really cheap for this performance. Of course, there are a lot that are better and or are also cheap, like the Superior or Pretty Excellent, but this is more than half the price. This is cheaper, so but the performance is not half the worth of those. So if I had to choose, well, if you can afford Superior or Pretty Excellent or the more expensive lines or the artist grade lines, by all means get them. But if you are limited when it comes to budget, then just get this. Yes, some colors are opaque, some colors have movement issues, but you can help them by just making light washes and just helping them move and mix. I can't complain because it's too cheap for me to, you know, to complain that much. But yeah, to be honest, for the price, it's really good. I've already given all my criticisms and my praises, so if you have any questions regarding the brand or regarding this set, just comment it below and I'll be answering you as soon as I can. If you have any requests or suggestions, any sets to review, just give me the link if you have the link, the comment box, and I'll be trying to review it if my budget permits. If you have any more questions, I love reading your comments and questions or suggestions. Just put it in the comment box and I'll be responding as soon as I can. Again, if you're not subscribed yet, please do subscribe to support this channel, and see you again next week. Thank you for watching.